We're seeing the same in the prime strip areas where independent retailers have come under a lot of stress, and especially in Sydney, and we're seeing vacancy rates rise well above where they traditionally are. So, you know, we do see a lot of hope in the year ahead for global retailers coming into the market. How Global is a study we've completed that looks at the penetration of global retailers into various markets, and we know that in Sydney, Sydney ranks 75th in the world of the 208 cities that we monitor, and it's actually falling down that list, and it's even below Melbourne in terms of global retailers in the market. So we see there's great potential for more global retailers to come into Sydney to both fill that vacant space, to keep those rents high, and to maybe bring back the wow factor into the retail sector. So the biggest change of all that we look to in the retail sector is really what consumer spending is going to do. The assumption we make is that by 2012 there will be an increase in consumer spending in Australia and in New South Wales as confidence slowly returns, as interest rate environment settles down, and we see and we forecast and assume that about consumer spending will grow at about 2.5% in 2012. So that summarises our view of the retail sector across the various sub-markets, the changes that we forecast in cap rates and rents. So we do see some growth coming through in the retail sector in 2012. So look, I hope that you know, brings us to the end of the presentation now, and I want to just reflect for a moment, I guess, on where we've been, Nick. So we're seeing a world which is still uncertain, but provides plenty of capital, plenty of investment opportunities, and give us some of your thoughts about you know, the outlook for the year ahead.
Yeah, I think, as you'll gather, I don't think that real estate in many cases is in a bad place. It's you know, a positive play on a long-term structure into some of these long-term structural trends, particularly in Asia. There are clear benefits and advantages to investing into real estate in the very uncertain times that we see around the rest of the world. I think that there are some exciting sort of short-term changes going on, and I think that, you know, that's reflected in the fact that there is no shortage of capital, either domestic or international, looking to get into the sector. The fact that cross-border flows elsewhere and on occasion here have been lower than we've seen in the past. I don't think in any way this suggests that we're going back to, you know, local markets dominated by local investors. I think that this is a short-term phenomenon. We're seeing, you know, international capital all over the place. London at the moment is probably more international in terms of the diversity of capital looking to access the market than we've ever seen. So I think that, you know, we're seeing very clearly the pressures around the world being reflected in what's happening in the real estate market. I think as we move through into hopefully a more sustained and robust global economic recovery, that will feed through into better property performance, but it's going to be bumpy. You know, it's not going to be a smooth path. It's going to be tough times ahead, but probably, you know, this region is the right place to be.
Okay. All right, thanks, Nick. And to help close the presentation, we've got James Patterson to say a few words.
That's good. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for all attending the Market Outlook presentation. I hope it's provided you with some fantastic insights into what's driving the property market, both in Australia and globally. And obviously very lucky to have Nick out here joining us. It's a challenging environment at the present. Following good activity at 2010, I think we're always expecting the market to be considerably stronger in 2011. But there's been a lull, as we've been discussing. We now expect it to grow and hopefully be stronger in 2012. Just please join me in thanking Kevin and Nick for an outstanding presentation. Just in finishing, I'd like to share a few of our recent achievements in the last 6 to 12 months. Several months ago we acquired the Hogg National Valuation business, which is South Australian based, which now gives us, consolidates our position nationally as the largest residential valuation practice in Australia. Now, and interestingly enough, we were doing around 110,000 valuations a year. Now we do over 220,000 valuations a year, which on a normal working day is about 1 every 6 minutes. So it's a big business, and we're looking to grow that, headed up by Tom Edwards. Another milestone was we achieved carbon neutrality in 2010 on global operations. We're the first property company in Australia and the first global commercial real estate firm to achieve this goal. Sustainability has become fundamental to our client service offering, and you'll notice on the table, although we only printed 2 per table, which is very important, and these will be available. If you read through, just contact Rebecca Pearce, who runs our sustainability business. We've also been very active in the recruitment front and brought on some very high calibre staff in the last 6 months. Among them, excuse me, Wayne Bunce, who heads our Queensland hotels team, and Raymond Clements, who's relocated from our Singapore office to work closely with Rob Cross, who heads our hotels business. In addition, David Fogarty has joined our National Asset Services executive team. He heads up our Premier Properties Group, and recently, you may have noticed, we've been awarded the management of the Waterfront Place in Brisbane, which is, a great achievement for the business. So thanks again for your continued support, and all the very best for the coming 6 months for 2011, and looking forward to a stronger market in 2012. The copy of the presentation will be available via email, so we'll send that out in due course. So thanks for coming on such a dreadful morning and making a very good day for us, and thank you very much for Kevin and Nick for putting on a fantastic presentation. So enjoy the day. Thank you.